better way to test it out. I brought an old pigskin.
Bloody Shaxx is going to teach me how to throw the old pigskin. Okay, ready?
I've never felt cooler.
Who's this cool guy? Straight out of 2004.
He's sitting way off your face. Imagine just like sitting back, being so cool, just watching your favorite home VHS tapes on your iPhone 4.
It's extremely uncomfortable to look at you like that.
We've got a really fun project to talk about today. And it's kind of a topic that covers a lot of different helmets in cosplay. What do you do when there is no viewport, no visor, no lens to see through?
Yeah, there's a lot of sci-fi helmets that they don't really, care. What's more sci-fi than being blind, I guess?
And then having like cameras. Trust us, they can see. There's like the Halo gun gear helmet.
Perfect.
That's just like a microwave on your head.
Yeah, and you're one of those nerds that actually like Destiny, so...
I like Destiny aesthetics. I love and hate Destiny, but I love Lord Shaxx. He's like the multiplayer announcer
guy.
Yeah. He's basically your hype man. He'll like call out your kill streaks, be like,
"Sure,
you're untouchable," and he'll really hype you up. He's a cool character, but he also never takes his helmet off, and there's no clear indication of how he sees through it.
Right. Okay.
So, albeit it looks like I'm watching or living life through a VHS tape.
Because you are living life through
basically,
2004 VHS.
We're gonna cover all those topics today and more. Let's get right into it. So this helmet started as kind of my New Year's resolution of getting myself back into prop making.
He's atting himself before I can at him.
Yes, this is a preventative.
Because it is currently the end of April, and this is his January helmet.
I spent a lot of time making the files and running the business. I don't get to spend much time prop making anymore. So it was my New Year's resolution to work on helmets again. And so this was my January project.
Well, it helps that you challenged yourself with a helmet that had like a lot of logistical issues surrounding it.
Yeah, so
and you knocked it out the park.
Thank you very much. It feels real good. So the design of the helmet is in like 4-5 main parts.
Right.
We got this whole like orange, white, and black face part. We can print it in one big piece. We decided to print it in 2. Okay. Just to capture all the details, make it easy. The horns, so they're designed so that the keys only fit in one way.
Oh,
okay. So I accidentally almost like twisted the horn the wrong way. Have it like point down. The horns are hollow too, because I had an idea when I was designing this helmet that I would want electronics inside.
Sure.
Or at least
a big empty space. Like,
or at least allow people to figure it out. And all the horns are like separated by their individual segments.
Right.
So sanding
really
and printing, was really easy. Got all the pieces printed out on our Bamboo Lab X1 carbons. It was super easy to smooth and finish the helmet.
Right.
That was the easy part. Used to mixture of Bondo glazing and spot putty. All the typical filler primer methods to fill in those 3D print lines.
You remember all of this. That's amazing.
Check out all of our other videos. We cover the topic extensively. I used some files to like smooth out all these
the ridges.
All these ridges in the bone. That was a fun part of this helmet, was working on something bone colored. Bone shaped.
Yeah, getting that weathering into the recesses. Yeah, absolutely.
So once the helmet is all smoothed out, I moved on to painting this partially myself. Jamie helped me later. Yeah. But as you see, this big dome is separated by 3 colors with a black stripe down the middle. Right. I used your laser line of sight.
Yeah, my Warhammer line.
Yeah, it's actually quite handy. So you just really kind of like situate the helmet so that the line kind of moves right down the middle. I think I traced that out with the pencil so that I could mark the line directly center and make sure that it was centered all the way through.
Right, yeah, because the issue is that like applying tape on a curved surface, it's gonna deviate, so it's really difficult to get a straight line curved.
So marking that center line before the taping was very helpful. But painting the helmet was pretty simple. Got flat white primer for the white, flat black primer for the black, and for the orange, I used a Rust-Oleum Gloss Real Orange.
Real orange.
And not the fake orange, the real orange.
All right.
For the bone, I've got Rust-Oleum Satin Fossil.
Good.
The bone call out made it pretty straightforward.
Makes sense.
I believe, I used your Lead Belcher.
Lead Belcher by Citadel.
For the silver.
Best gunmetal color out there.
I'm converted. It's really good stuff.
Really good. But I noticed that you did one thing here that I think might have come up earlier in your process, which was all of this fantastic weathering here using liquid latex.
Yeah, so that was a lot. I had a good rip from the game that had like all the textures on it.
Oh, so this is 1-to-1 match.
I tried my best. Liquid latex is a little bit hard to work with, but I did my best. So paint the whole helmet white, then I laid down the latex to essentially save that white.
Yeah.
Then I painted the black side, taping off all the parts that I wanted to keep white.
Oh, I see.
And then, after that black had dried, I apply a little bit more latex
not
around
scratching away the original one.
Right, that's how you kind of get that stepped, layered paint look.
Thick chips.
Yeah, and so love liquid latex for weathering. Makes it look really nice and scratched up. And yeah, Shaxx has a pretty worn down helmet.
It's cool, you can see it's like hitting all of the sharpest points. With most of the weathering, you see like along this line here, that's where a lot of it is. That's really good.
One of my favorite parts about this technique is that since the paint's all layered on top of each other, when you go to do your oil wash, when you weather, that oil sits in those ridges of the paint very nicely, and it gives each layer kind of its own identifying weather.
Like real depth to it that you can see that it's like steps out of like time.
I did want to mention I first used a Montana Gold Chrome for the gold parts on Shaxx's horn here. Ended up switching from that.
Yeah, because of your clear coat, right?
Right. The Montana Gold Chrome, I loved the look of it. It came out great. But yeah, when I went to clear coat the helmet, it dulled it white spectacularly, so we redid that. You came in.
Yeah, I was testing out a load of gold at the time anyway for other projects. So all I did was apply a flat black onto those areas that were meant to be gold and get them right back bright gloss using a 2K clear coat. Just spray with an airbrush, and then just applied a mix of Alumoluster and
Pagan Gold.
Pagan Gold.
Yes.
You got it. Yeah, and it was just a little bit of Pagan Gold just to get that sort of bright, almost electro-plated gold.
Really cool.
Yeah.
Like I love how it looks, and it's a lot more durable than the Montana Gold Chrome.
Yeah, and so you get a little bit of reflectivity off of that. It looks really metallic. It's striking, and that's all I did on this project.
Yep.
It's great.
The weathering, did a little bit of an oil wash, mixed some oil paints with some acrylic, and just kind of gently washed it over the helmet. Shaxx has, despite all the scratches in his paint job, it's not a very dirty helmet.
Right.
And so it went very light with the oil washing over the whole helmet, followed up with just a little paintbrush with some oil paints. Just really hit a few particular spots.
Yeah, I see that. You can actually see just little marks here.
Yeah. Got some like lines or random spots like down here and a little bit more. That is painting the helmet in a nutshell.
So we have a completed helmet. Now, if you didn't care about seeing anything, you're done. This is a finished helmet.
If you just want to put it on the shelf or wear it and bumble around, you can certainly do that. But now we get to the fun and interesting part of this helmet. I looked, Jamie.
Right.
There are a lot of like heads-up display options.
Sure.
Like for drones, for example. There's a lot of FPV goggles that people just use to view from their drone's perspective as they're flying them around.
Yeah, high frame rate, low latency,
One, usually they come out about that far from your face.
Right.
Absolutely huge.
Okay.
Two, super expensive.
Yeah, that I expected.
I could not find one for less than like $300 to $400. I couldn't find any that fit the form factor of, being small enough to fit inside the helmet and also on my head.
Yeah.
But came across this old 405th post.
Okay.
Where I believe they were talking about a gun gear helmet. And somebody mentioned Vuzix video eyewear from 2010.
I thought people were cooler in 2010. This is really cringy.
Yeah. So what they are there's basically two frames that your eyes can sit into. And they're built into the frame of sunglasses so you can be extra cool. But they have two screens here, and those two screens kind of overlap in your vision to become one solid viewing screen.
Right, yeah, sort of like VR headset or something.
Yep.
But that's really small form factor.
It is, and that's the biggest benefit of it. You know, we can take off these really cool shades. I know. You can leave them on if you want, because it doesn't really matter. But all of this comes off, and so what you're left with, very small form factor viewing screen.
This size, sort of exactly where your eyes would be.
It's connected to a little power supply. It just uses a AA battery.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and it's only, that big. So I just fit it like underneath one of the rims of this helmet. But yeah, it fits the bill perfectly. On Amazon, I believe, or eBay, I believe I got them for like $120.
Sure. Okay.
So a bit pricey, but
yeah.
For a kit this cool, definitely I think the best option.
Yeah, if you wanted to impress people with like actually being able to see out of the helmet like this in a Shaxx costume, yeah, that's worth it.
You can definitely spring for, actual 1080p or even like 4K display inside your helmet.
You don't mean the 240p LCD widescreens that are part of this?
They feature that as twin high resolution 428 by 240 LCD screens. Yeah, it's a bit old tech, but it works perfectly for what we're looking for. We don't need a big, massive display, very low profile. It just connects via RCA connections. The red,
the classic,
the yellow, and the white. Yeah, you know those connectors. But yeah, found the glasses. Those work perfectly. Now, all I had to do was find a video source.
Yeah, what are you connecting this to?
Right, so it is basically just a very small CCTV camera. It is about, I believe, 5 millimeters in diameter.
Oh my god.
So very small and works great. It has the connectors. It needs a battery.
Sure, a separate battery, okay.
Right, so we'll need a little power supply for that. Now, this helmet has two little bolts, eye details on the front here.
Yeah.
Wanted to hide the camera in one of those.
Right.
So I took the original file and brought it into 3D Builder and then just cut out like a 5
mil.
Yep, 5 mil cylinder out of it. We resin printed them and was able to paint that up the same day, basically.
Sure. Yeah, easy.
Then the camera just kind of fit right through, or it would. I had to take a soldering iron and actually melt through, the plastic dome.
Oh, yeah, just straight through.
Yeah, it was a little bit janky, but I didn't want to reprint, the whole dome and reprint it also.
Yeah.
Just poke it through with a hot soldering iron and try not to smell the burning plastic.
Okay, so you have your camera through now, and I have to say, hidden. That's
my favorite part.
So part of the form factor of this helmet. That's
I did have to take off there's a little LED ring around the camera that popped right off. Put some tape over the lens and just gave it a flat black
that's smart.
paint job. Matched the paint job for the rest of the helmet. But yeah, that's my favorite part, is that it's so obscured.
Yeah.
Very hard to see. It's just this little lens here in the front and the top, so that it's actually kind of right above.
Pretty close, not too.
Yeah. It's not like the gun gear helmet where the eye little is off to the side. We talked about that. So one part about that very small camera is that it's a circle.
Right.
You have to kind of mark which side is actually pointed up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you might be looking through the helmet like that.
Will make me throw up.
That would that would be impossible to use. So I just used some green tape to kind of mark which side.
This way up.
Yep, and you don't want to put that in the wrong way.
How did you get everything in this in the end?
Right.
That sounds like a lot.
So there's a lot going on inside the helmet. I had to make a little bit of space. Thankfully, as we talked about earlier, these horns are hollow.
Right.
And so I'm able to shove some stuff in there to make a little bit more room in the helmet.
Yeah, they're hefty horns. There's a lot of space in there.
Yeah. For the battery that we used for the camera, basically just 4 batteries shrink wrapped together or something. So I've just kind of shoved that in the ear. I had to cut out some space, again with the soldering iron.
Okay.
It's not ideal, but I didn't want to reprint or repaint everything.
Hey, it worked.
Yeah, I do that a lot, is if you have some part of a 3D print that's just, you need a hole somewhere, a good old dirty soldering iron will do the trick.
And a gas mask.
Yeah, I would not recommend shoving a pack of batteries into
please melt the hole first before you start putting the
Right,
battery.
and they got a little bit stuck, so I had to like pull them out with some pliers. I was like, please don't do this. Don't do this at home. Be smarter than me.
God.
But yeah, I fit the battery pack into the
Like
horns
all
here.
all the way in.
Oh yeah, it shoves all the way in.
Okay.
It's got 2 cables that just point outward for charging or for use.
Oh, fantastic.
One thing I might have to do in the future is kind of level out the balance of this helmet. That's the drawback, is that yeah, it is very like if I
Actually take the.
if I take this out, it will wanna
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it has like 4 alkaline batteries in one of your ears.
and the big horn too.
Yeah.
But just some counterweights.
Just in here.
Could be, and
Yeah.
it's not noticeable on your head.
Easy enough. Yeah.
The fun thing is that I also got a little like analog to digital recorder. And so what I can do is
Really?
I could split off the footage from the little camera in here to record it. That was what I actually see. The like glitching of the horizontal bars is a little bit exaggerated in the recorded footage. It's not that bad.
Sure. Yeah.
It's not that bad through my eyes. But yeah,
That's so cool.
it
It's
is.
so
Like you can record a whole convention if you want to.
I mean, that would involve you walking around a convention
Yeah.
wearing this thing and sort of not really knowing exactly where you
that's
were.
it. After it was all in there, all taped in with duct tape, because
Right.
we might want to pull this out and use it on a different helmet. We got to try it on and play around with it a little bit.
Yeah, so here's the footage here.
What better way to test it out?
Pigskin. Bloody Shaxx is going to teach me how to throw the old pigskin. Okay, ready? Okay. Strike! And it's good!
Don't know if YouTube's okay with blood.
Dedication to the craft.
Good.
You're good, you're good. Of course, he wipes it.
We're all good. Just wipe it on the shorts. Okay, I'm determined to catch one.
Okay, okay. Ah, so close. Ready? Goes through his hands.
It's not that bad. It is not that bad.
Not that bad.
It's not that bad.
It's a little bit disorienting because obviously, imagine having an eye in front of your actual eyes.
It's like separate. And actually, reading the features here, it makes perfect sense. It says equivalent to a 55-inch screen viewed from 10 feet.
Yeah, so you got quite a big display in front of your eyes.
But that also means that you kind of feel slightly separated from where you're viewing.
Right. So yeah, just imagine an eyeball a few inches in
Yeah.
front of your actual eyes. So like when you put your hands out to grab something or to like shake someone's hand, you feel like your arms are
Like,
closer or further than they actually are.
yeah.
Something like that. There's a
Yeah.
little bit of a disconnect.
And you can't see, your peripheral is great, but up and down is a little bit letterboxy.
Yeah, it's
and
like
so your
it's perfect. It's like cut off. The
your
top
hands like only appear here in your vision.
uh-huh.
It is wild.
It's great for not running into stuff. If you're
Yeah.
walking around a convention floor,
Yeah, yeah.
it's perfect
If you're
for
doing a photo shoot
avoiding
and just,
people.
need to take directions, you can do that. You can pretty comfortably walk around this. If you get used to it, yeah, you could go to a less busy convention and not
Mm-hmm.
bump into everything. It's incredible. It's amazing that you actually managed to fit so much into like such a small package here.
Yeah, that's the best part of it, is that it's small form factor, and that's what we're going for, because we need all the room we can get
Right.
inside of helmets. As I would like to be able to add fans inside the helmet, because
should.
it does get quite hot in there.
Imagine lithium battery in your ear.
We didn't put anything in this horn,
Right.
so that could be great for a little spot for fans or something like that.
Yeah. So you figured it out. You did it. You got a helmet that you're able to see out of with no visor.
Yep, all from a 405th forum post
Yeah.
from like 2011.
It works. Yeah, when this technology was new and exciting.
Yeah, but you know, there's a lot of different helmets that this could be used for. It doesn't have to just be Shaxx. It could be any helmet that has no obvious viewport.
It doesn't even need to be sci-fi. This camera is so small that you could actually hide that within the details.
Yeah, like you could put it anywhere, really. It's just convenient to have a little spot in front of your own two eyes.
Yeah,
It might get a little bit disorienting.
Yeah, that Gungnir, I would not recommend like off to the side.
Yeah, but like you said, the Gungnir, that's a perfect example of a helmet that, you know, doesn't look like it should work.
Yeah.
But, you know, works in the sci-fi universe, so we have to make it work. Helldivers has a lot.
Oh yeah.
Where it's like
completely
weird
flat
robotic faces and things like that. Halo has a lot more. Destiny has tons.
Oh yeah, of course, Destiny. And as you see, we have more of these for future builds. So if you have any ideas of helmets with no visible visor, with no clear eyes, that could use this technology.
Yeah.
Let us know in the
It's
comments
old tech.
below.
Yeah, it is old tech, but it still works.
It works. It's affordable.
Like, I got some alternates to try
Oh, not
out.
the gross ones.
They are pretty gross. They're all gross because they're all used from
eBay.
2010.
Oh,
But,
don't
like,
put them in your ears.
No, absolutely not. But like this one has built-in headphones. It's, you know, got a little bit of front to it. Ugh. Yeah, I have to take some alcohol to that.
Yeah.
Wipe it off. Well, everybody, I hope you found that video informative. I hope it inspires you to take on a project that you were maybe avoiding because you had no idea how you'd be able to see through it or, you know, walk around a convention floor with it.
Right.
I know we're certainly excited about the prospects
this is
of
incredible.
using more. That's why we got a
See
couple
more
of
of
these.
them.
Yeah. But anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope to see you again in the next video.
I cannot tell you just like the bunch of nerds that are on these boxes. And the thing is, like, people like this still exist.